welcome to Toffee TV. There's the final words. Everton 4.
Four, it was 4.
Manchester United 0. Before we get going, this video is sponsored by OneFootball. OneFootball's app brings you all the latest scores, like Everton 4, Man United 0. All the latest news, like Everton have beaten Man United 4-0, and all the latest stats. We battered them. There's the stats. Yeah. You can find all those in one place on the OneFootball app. The link is in the description to download the app. Thank you. We've got Keith, we've got Dave, the premier guests for a premier game of football.
I think this is like proper dedication, you know, because
Bank holiday.
It's Bank Holiday Monday,
and it's boiling.
And we're sitting in here doing what is it we're doing?
Everton 4, Man United.
Shorts and a hat. We're doing shorts and a hat, and I've even brought shades just as a prop.
I did mine in my shades. Yes, in my video.
In happy world.
What would you be in a Hollywood style?
Well, you know what I mean. I'm surprised we've got your time.
17 seconds.
I'm surprised he hasn't mentioned it in the opening 84 seconds. I'm not going to lie.
Sorry, Tim.
I haven't said a word, Tim. I haven't said a word. Go on.
Anyway, lads. The last time you were in after Newcastle,
because I'm good like that, generous like that.
It wasn't great. But the last time the pair of you were in was after Millwall in the debacle at the end of January.
I think I'd expunge that from me, man.
Yeah. There was a game in January where we just let.
I was there. I hadn't expunged it.
But obviously the feeling today is a million miles away from that Monday back in January when the pair of you came in.
Yeah, it certainly is. Oh, that's how you know, as you can see, I'm just, I'm glowing.
You're glowing
in an Evertonian type way. Now, the game was fantastic yesterday. There's everything that really, what really interested for me is the performance like this, up by Fulham last week, at this point in the season. We're normally, I mean, in the last previous 5 seasons, you're watching an Everton team that's getting ready for the holidays, like that. What point is finishing? And if I packed enough sunshine lotion in me bag, you know, and you're giving up 70 minutes in and stuff, and so I find it really interesting that you've got a team at the moment playing out their skin for the club, or they're playing for something. So I'm starting to think they must know something's coming. It's either a new stadium or something else is happening. Paul Pogba maybe with his behaviour yesterday.
I mean, he played like he was playing for us. Yeah. To be fair,
he had the blue shirt when he walked
down the tunnel.
I think sometimes, I mean, we see. Listen, never get ahead of yourself. But
no,
when you see a team that's starting to gel, isn't it? And I think probably that's what we're seeing now, Dave. You're seeing a team that play for the manager. They obviously all love the manager as it goes. The fans are engaged again, and you're seeing a team that I think the players like each other, and that to me is a big thing.
It is a massive thing, but there's numerous factors in this. This has been incremental progress. He told you, this fella who we came on here a year ago discussing his appointment. I said to you, I'm not that convinced because his CV hasn't blown me over. I wanted that kind of Ancelotti, take charge, let it all settle down, see what's going to happen with the investment, hang on till we get to if we're going to a new ground, that kind of view. He went the other way. I've seen every minute of it. Every minute of his tenure, I've been in the ground. Well, he come out in his first press conference and said it's going to be different. He still had Allardyce's team at the time he told you it was going to be different. Incidentally, he said it's going to be different. First thing that's going to be different, we're going to turn up at the away team, at the big teams, home and away, all of them. That's
and what
we've just spoken off there about Moyes. Not just the have done. We're all talking about the home games where we reaped the points. Away from home, Arsenal had an offside goal. The other one was borderline. We should have scored 2 ourselves in the first half. We got a point at Chelsea. Martial dived at Man United. Man City, we turned up, they kind of much better than us, but we still gave it a go, and Pickford threw it on the bar in the 96th minute at Liverpool. If David Moyes went for a decade and didn't have one of them performances in all of them grounds, this fella's done it. So then he added the players, and now the second half of his statement was, we're going to try and win more away games. Well, we started well, didn't gain very many points, but you could see the performances. Richarlison was shining, and then Gomez come in about 10 weeks into it, 11 weeks into it, and it kind of supplemented it, and you could see it. We got beat at Liverpool in the last minute, and the house fell in, and then Millwall, and then, as we've been saying, from Huddersfield then, Cardiff, with the exceptions of Newcastle and Fulham, this has been general progress. If this was a graph, it'd be an upward curve.
Newcastle was progress. For 64 and a half minutes in Newcastle, we were very good, weren't we? But I mean, the team yesterday, 2 changes, what we thought when we done the starting 11.
Yeah,
was the team that
Keane should have been back last week. I mean, again, we spoke, the manager's learning, but he needs to learn at times not to be so emotional. I think I genuinely believe last week Jags, he just got caught up in it all. When really, for a tactical point of view, Michael Keane's not just a good defender, but he's a better footballer. And Sneijder was the right decision as well, because as much as we all want Tom to progress, or you got someone like James McCarthy on the bench, Sneijder, he said from day one he likes Sneijder. He said he liked him from day one.
Seeing what he did to Pogba yesterday, you'd understand why he likes him.
But he what he wanted. I think for us as fans, we see Sneijder as part of a team with Garner, which is negative and is not going anywhere. And in a team yesterday, actually, he allowed Garner to actually go and do more of what Garner does, and just sit and just soak stuff up in front of the back four, and then that allows Bernard and Richarlison and Dean and Coleman and
but when we used to complain about that,
but it's a triangle again. Sneijder and Garner got exposed when you were in a flat 2 because they can't run up and down.
As
and you put something at the top of it and a base, and the one can cover the other and have a fella in front of them. That works better for that specific player.
The other thing as well is when it was Garner and Sneijder in our midfield, we didn't have Richarlison and Bernard either side who were opening.
Which is absolutely fair.
So what we said the other day when we were doing a preview, and what me and Ped were saying the other day, was if you put Sneijder in, because a lot of people, even when I'd done the predicted 11, were like, I see where you're going with it, but I don't think they can't play together. It needs to be Davis. But what we were saying is, if you've got Garner and Sneijder and you've got Keane and Zuma, that means 6 of your place and go forward. And that's and their weakness is their defence. So he put him in, and I thought Sneijder was brilliant.
Sorry, Keith, new brain because I didn't notice him.
Yeah. You just got it.
You didn't notice Pogba?
No,
I didn't notice it. Oh, I did notice it. I noticed him every time we had the ball, Dave, honestly, because he is a walking advert. That kid could be anything he wanted in the world, and he doesn't want to be. What he wants to be is on the front, presumably, of every magazine in the world, whether it be football or not. That's what they bought. That's what they bought him for. He's a tremendous. Can be whatever he wants, but every time he had the ball, he looked like he was playing in a completely separate game of football.
Did you see the ball he played to Lukaku in like the 90th minute, down about the 87th minute, and he got the ball and he come through and Lukaku peeled out wide in front of us. We sit in the park and to the left of the goal, kind of near the front, so it's there, and he peeled off and he tried to play a ball. It got cut out, and Lukaku went to throw his hands up, and Pogba just stopped and looked at him and just went, what? Like that, as if to say, I was still trying to play it in and that was them. It was like they were playing their own little game.
Yeah.
And I just looked at it and went, you're mental. You haven't moved all day long. We've called Morgan Sneijder at this thing, and he literally, lad, has not given you a kick of the ball this afternoon.
Twice he dumped him on his arse.
3 times he's done it.
He gave him a little
3 times he done it.
Pogba looked and then went.
So then, hang on. Just if you don't mind me interjecting on this point, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, who I've got no beef with, I've got no agenda with, if he does it, he does it. He jumped on the thing to say what he did was, he got Jose's failing system, mentality, and he tipped it on its head. He said, instead of being defensive, like you just said now, we're going to take it to you, because our defence is our weakest point, so we're going to now expose our greatest asset. Well, then Marco Silva did exactly that to him yesterday, and took what he had. They played 3 strikers there, looking to kill us off before our time, so they could soak it up with the rest of their kind of not so much thing. Well, guess what? They were already behind by that point. So now, your options are already on the park. You've got 1 or 2 on the bench. So that you've got to give our manager credit in that department too. You asked me when you first, the original question was, what are we seeing? Are we learning? Well, that is, again, that's genuine progress. Because Allardyce, we would sit here last year, and boys with the greatest will in the world, we're not outsmarting anybody in any game, certainly not Manchester United.
No, I mean, listen,
Keith's been patiently waiting. Come on,
he can jump
he's
in.
got a hat on.
All I'm going to say is, anyone who watches this knows I've been waving Marco flag all season. For the 3 months when everyone I've been holding it when everyone was on his flag. But, listen, because it's all about things that take time. I look at chest pumper and wait for camera to come on before he like gains and smiles and all that. Right. Soft straight across the park, getting it all.
Oh yeah, I don't.
Right, but what he done,
what
he done, right? Because you have to look at, if you're looking at everybody, they're up near the top. You look at Pep and you go, money and great and brilliant, and Klopp's a brilliant coach. He is, obviously he is.
Yeah.
But what he's done is incremental building. Liverpool, he took over. There's 30 games left in that season. He took over. They were 8th. They finished 8th. But in that season, you've seen signs. Yeah. Paul went to me and you, didn't he, earlier in the season? There'll be if you know this manager's right, there'll be moments when you go, that's what he's trying to do. And then there'll be the next week you'll go and get smashed and you'll go, what the... And that's, to be fair, doesn't say much that's right, but he was right that. Yeah. And Klopp was building on that incrementally and got them where they are. Now you're seeing Silva's blueprint. You just said it. Yeah. It's April and they're running around like it's August.
They're running around for something, so there's belief there. But if you go back to Schneider, and I think I said on this programme that I'd never want to see him in an Everton shirt ever again.
Yeah. But that was what he was portraying. It was under the other fella.
That's what he was portraying.
It was under the other fella.
It also tells me that, it's not just sometimes about the player's ability, is it? It's about the circumstances, how they played, and the manager's input, and that bonding that they have amongst themselves as a team. So we can all be wrong sometimes, do you know what I mean? And,
yeah, but you were calling it as it was.
As I saw it.
Then it was, though.
Yeah,
that's how it was.
Mind you also, didn't he lose his dad this year?
And he did.
Yeah, and he's had the baby.
And Silva was good as gold.
Yeah,
no pressure. Yeah. No, you're not even in my team in the first place. So off you pop, get yourself a ding. None of that. Let him go.
This is what...
The same with Gomez. Kind of the same thing. Gomez had done his thing with the other place. But to come here, no, come on.
Well, they give him Danny Donaghy. Danny Donaghy does loads of holistic stuff. And all about alternative medicine, alternative healing and everything. And the first thing Gomez done was spend time with Danny Donaghy at the manager's.
So I'm saying, it seems there's a pattern emerging. Of course there seems the thinking pattern is emerging. So back to your original point about incremental progress. If this is a garden, he's planted the seeds, but in the next year now, you start seeing the shoots coming through. 3 years down the line, you start reaping the harvest, lads. Well, but you've got to cultivate it. You've got to continue to cultivate it and give it attention.
The hardest thing to do when you're doing that, though, is know if you don't know what your team is. And that's what we found, haven't we, in the last 6 to 8 weeks?
I think we've also said on this show that we'd like to challenge for things for this year, but I remember me really saying, this is going to be our graft this season. Yeah. Beginning of the season, we were saying it's going to be our graft, and we expect nothing from this season. Because managers, I think the problem with modern football as well is you don't give people time. No. And any manager is worth his salt is still going to come in and have to work out exactly that. What is my best 11? Who can I rely on? Who can't I rely on? Even though he may well be amazing, he's a gobshite. You know what I mean? I can't work with him. No,
exactly. It's not just that though, is it? It's things like, look at Richarlison, he starts the season on the left, he's scoring loads of goals. Yeah. But does it help the balance of the team? And how does it all fit together? Well, as soon as he goes to the right, suddenly he gets this link up with Coleman. Coleman's re-energised.
Yeah. We played him in the centre because we had no goddamn centre forward for the third of the season. Yeah. So us are now blindly trying to get our way. That's all learning.
Slowly.
If you look at the gaffer, we're making this film you just told them all about 5 minutes ago, 10 minutes ago. That's, if you look at it from the start, it's the gaffer with the jigsaws. We had 7, he keeps one of them. That one goes on to be Everton's most decorated footballer, most appearance holder. He adds to it in-house. He brings in broken down versions of players.
Funny on that though, sorry. Chen Tosin, who's someone who bombed out the team, was doing interviews last week with Turkish. So I want to stay here for life. So it's like, by the way, I didn't notice he didn't have spray on yesterday.
No, he hadn't spray. Oh, yesterday he had the spray on. Yeah, no, we didn't go bald, did he? He was bald red and he had full spray on yesterday.
I love it.
It's incredible.
Is he bald?
Is he bald?
I'll show you the picture in a minute.
I don't look.
But the thing about it,
it's like him. You know, have you seen the film when he takes his wig off and he's like, that's what he looks like?
I'll show you the picture. Anyway, even taking him, the kid's not even getting on the pitch. Right? And he's going, this club's incredible.
All over Twitter,
this manager's unbelievable.
He's all over the
internet.
I mean,
he's all over the internet with it.
You know, Seamus coming over to left back yesterday. Yeah. I think towards the
end of the game. There was
no moaning. And Keane moving over to the other side because of the injury. You know, that's like...
and I'm putting the armband on Jags as well.
I saw that.
You know, that's a team that's starting to form. That's also a manager that knows what he's doing.
But we also need to say though, we also need to take a juxtaposition to not just Allardyce, because he was an absolute car crash, but the other fella before him.
Yeah,
and the mindset where we are, taking all those points you just said about how hard they're playing, of how individuals are shining, how we're getting links now. The wingers, the fullbacks and the wingers are now, they're looking solid. You could build a team for 3-5 years around the people we've got in, the players we've got them in already before the next window comes. And 12 months from now, that window comes. So I'm saying to you, that's fine. Calvert-Lewin is proper blossoming now. You can see with his back to goal. In running, I'm going to say this now, in running, as in since the season started.
You said it before.
He is the most improved player in the Premier League. Him or that Winks who plays for Tottenham, since August started to where we are now on 22nd of April, that kid has come on leaps and bounds. With his back to goal, he terrorised the two of them yesterday on his own. And if you give him 18 months and let him be 24, 25, 26 doing it, then you'll have a footballer. So this is before you spent any more money. So now, if you had the crowd and the increased what it feels like to be in Goodison, we've all done this for years. It feels boss being there again, lads.
Brands that said earlier on in the season, just before the January transfer window, Brands said now, said, why I'm not going to be on chasing forwards right now as well, because we've got a developing forward here, which was in Dominic Calvert-Lewin, and why would I want to discourage him by spending billions on millions, literally millions on a forward during the transfer window that you've then obliged to play. And
especially
that might not be as good
in January. You flapping around.
He said it, didn't he? When was it? About November time. He said probably won't buy anyone in January. We've got a great squad here that we're not even utilising, and we've got to start seeing.
That was another thing Silva did. I remember. Where did we go? I can't remember. Say it was October, November time.
Hollywood.
Tommy Davis, and Tolson. Tommy Davis and Calvert-Lewin weren't even in the team this particular day. And he mentioned them by name in the press conference, which then told me that he's subliminally telling these journalists, listen, these are going to be around for a while. They might not be here today, but if I go forward, this is who it's going to be with. It was the Tommy Davis booing time, I think. It was the time where that thing, social media, they might have been asked the question. He came out of his way, despite the first 11 not containing those names, and made a point of saying it, like he did at the start of the season when he said, I'm going to take the big teams on, and then and this is going to be a theme, what runs right through my whole tenure.
This fella,
well, them two, he did the same thing. That tells you they're staying around, by the way, boys, whether we like it or not.
He's a good coach. People go on about his CV, which is not. I've seen it again today. I've seen it again today.
Build it now.
And from James Corbett, who I like. James is a great lad, great Evertonian, but he had a limited CV. It's not limited, is it? Esteril, like frigging Barnsley and getting them. Like taking Barnsley and putting them in the Europa League. Well, in fact, I'm probably doing Barnsley a disservice. Right? He got them promoted, got them in the Europa League, finishing 4th. He then went to Greece. He then went to Sport and won the cup. The Portuguese Cup. Then he went to Greece and has got the record in Europe for winning the most amount of games from day one in the season. And people slag him because he come to England and went to Hull, who had 12 players and had 11 points at Christmas and got them to within the penultimate game of staying up. Okay, Watford, they were brilliant at Watford until Everton lifted the skirt up. And then, okay, it did go tits up, there's no thingy there. But then he's come here. So forget the limited CV. You've got better CV than
the thing about
Eddie
CVs,
Howe or people like this.
CVs are only good enough. We all know this. We've done things what wasn't what we were originally doing with our lives. So what I'm saying to you is, CVs are fine to get you through the door. Then CVs stop at the door.
Look at Jose Mourinho.
You stop at the door.
Look at Mourinho. Would you want Mourinho or Silva next year? Which one would you
Silva
want?
right now.
And Mourinho's CV's better than anyone else.
That's a crazy statement when you think about it. Right now.
But football-wise, I forget about what I'm talking football.
No, I'm talking about what I'm
saying. I'd rather watch Everton play the way
they
But back to the game anyway. The thing that impressed me about yesterday was, even though it was a big game, the atmosphere was incredible. Again, the lads, the originals, and everyone. Listen, they're great at doing. They've done brilliantly. Well, fair play to everyone else as well who jumped on it as well, because people, you can only do as much as everyone else.
Everyone bought into it.
Everyone wanted it anyway. If you go back when you're a kid, and we all can, you don't remember, or you can do when you got a cob on, You can remember them days too, but if you just click in your head about Everton, it's generally the place is bouncing in your head, because that's what you're all there. So when it was in the sun, it was Easter Sunday, them sirens yesterday were twice as long as they normally are. By the time the players got out, it was like, it was a frenzy. It was ready to go.
As well as that, what I was going to say, the atmosphere was brilliant. But I was impressed with how quickly we started against a very good side.
I think that's been a theme of the last two games. And it's
second half.
Well, not against Chelsea.
But the second half it was right from the off.
Going back to what you said before about the opposition showing their hand early. If you start it, like we were 1-0 up against Arsenal and battered and 2-0 up at half time yesterday, which meant that they had to make the change. And we were like, we're fine here. And then when they made the change, that almost creates more space for this team, because we're a counter-attacking team, and it played into our hands. So coming out the box early was, and what a noticeable change, and this was something we spoke about early in the season, was set pieces, long throws. Starting to use things in your armoury that some people might go, oh, you know, parasite football.
Flick on
Parasite
football.
Well, it was like watching a bit of Stoke Brazil, wasn't it?
Love
For
it,
the first goal.
Absolutely love it.
That's what we were saying. All those games that we lost by 1 goal, and we were conceding generally through zonal marking. We're now starting to see the end of the tunnel. We're starting to see the light now.
Not that problem anymore.
No, what we're starting to see is by working on the defensive side of it. Because we said, it wasn't that long ago, we were going, well, maybe the reason the crap at that end is because we're crap at that end. But every corner now is causing mayhem. It's not like away at the near post, it's the deep. And the court,
the mixed up.
There's a drop down.
They're accurate too.
Gilfie didn't score from a corner yesterday.
They didn't score from a corner.
That was cheesy.
Well, the thing what you're seeing, I mean, listen, the other crowd got a throwing coach in September. I started laugh. I was like, throwing coach. And I was talking to Chris from the Redmen last week about it, and he gave me some stats about how they used to lose the ball 68% of the time off their throw-ins. Now they lose it 8%. So they've improved 6. So if we
didn't we score from our own throwing?
Listen, right? We did. Right. So what I'm saying, right, is that if that's the minute details.
Dave Brailsford philosophy it is. Looking at me now.
The bite fella. I'm not looking at him like I don't know what it is. What's the bite fella? It's the bite fella.
You achieve miles of success through inches,
inches,
every inch, and if you have to
smash the Dave Brailsford.
If you have to start taking long throw, we scored in the last 2 games through long throws.
But that one was in our corner. It was in our...
No, I'm talking about the first one.
The first
one. We scored 2 yesterday, but what I mean is long throws, and people can look down.
It's almost like a flick on one.
Honest to God, Don can get up almost as good as
Timmy. Fantastic.
It is. He gets up as good as anyone. So in the past, we might have gone, oh, we're not doing that, or that's a bit... Use because for every one of those goals...
Every advantage, isn't it?
Every one of those goals, you get a goal like the second or the third or the fourth.
I mean, we'd almost scored. We had the... Gilfie done brilliantly, won a free kick. The turn on Fred was just... I've just watched it again before. Because he just flicked it
I'd
up.
rather have Fred.
Fred Flintstone, I'd rather have.
Corrie or whatever.
I said.
Fred.
Fred Elliott.
Climbed the chimneys.
Fred,
lad.
Quality,
Fred.
But the chimney. Fred didn't it? The ball come in. Right.
That's the only Fred alive he is.
The ball is not.
Oh, he's not alive. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But the ball come in, flicked it one way, flicked it the other. That Fred dragged him down, and he whipped that ball in. We got the corner. But from that corner, Garner puts it back in, and the Charleston has a brilliant volley.
The second one
makes a great save. He just never wrapped his left foot round it and screwed it back. But from that moment, they were like that off set pieces. And so when we got the next one, which was the long throw, and Dom jumps about 2 foot above everybody else.
The standing leap is absolutely
what a finish. Bicycle kick in the sun, Brazil up to the hill.
I mean, he could have, to be fair, he could have killed the defender.
He could have killed the defender.
No, it's
really dangerous
play.
Even though the defender was where the light is.
Gerd Muller used to do it, and everyone said it was genius, by the way.
It's just incredible. But what a
retrospective ban.
Probably. As soon as has his way, him and Danny Murphy are probably sat there going, how can we ban him? How can we ban him? But what an absolutely brilliant finish. Kick at your end as well.
I mean, we as our end as well, we watched it go in, but it was just a world class goal. From and the type of thing that you want to go to, you want to remember from football matches. You want your players scoring goals like that.
I was thinking,
you don't want them flinching.
Please, no matter what happens, just let us win this game. Just so that, because Andre Gomez has scored one of the goals of the season. No one even thinks about it. Wolves, no one even bothered. So that goal deserved to be in a win.
By the way, the other two behind it weren't too bad.
No, I know, but I'm just saying to start.
I get it.
Just a note. I mean, I know there's been a lot of stuff in the press yesterday and this morning about, and I've got another theory on ignoring it. No, about some of the media in the press just sort of.
We'll get anti-Everton.
Man U lost the game, we didn't win it.
Yes.
But I know quite a few Man U fans, myself, and I got a text at half time from a Man U fan that I knew was at the game yesterday. We met him before the game, and he just messaged me and said, "You're the better team by far. And you've had two worldies." That's what
that was it. Which is about the truth.
And that's the truth.
Which was about
the second goal.
Sentence truth.
The second goal's a United corner.
Yeah, it was.
That comes in, gets
Garner's fantastic in the move.
And it gets flicked back. I think, is it Garner who intercepts
Garner,
it?
he gives it to Bernard. Bernard just waits.
Plays it back to him. Garner bursts through. He backs off.
And the ball, the ball's to Sigurdsson, but Sigurdsson does brilliantly on it.
Opens the pitch out
like when he went to Sigurdsson, I was thinking, well, that's the end of that. And I love Sigurdsson. I really love Sigurdsson. Someone's funny on Match of the Day too yesterday. He got absolutely spot on. He said he's the brains of the team.
He's the
brains of the team. So well done for saying that. Yeah. But when he got it, I was just, but he is the brains, because where he's looking and seeing that he hasn't got the pace. He's looking for the space.
But he
that's why he backs out. That's why he goes backwards, not forward.
But you know what?
He backs out and opens the pitch out now.
He should get loads of credit for this goal, and he hasn't. It's Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Dominic Calvert-Lewin makes a run across, and he takes the defender away, and Sigurdsson just uses that space to just flash it. I was right behind that. I was right behind it where I sit. As soon as it left his foot, you knew it was a goal. You knew it was a goal.
Just arrowed past him. And to beat him from there.
I've seen him score. I've seen the one at Split when he put it from wherever he put it, out of space he put it from. And I've seen the one at Leicester this season, which was an absolute goal.
That's the goal of the
season. If you're in the ground and you see that happen, it was mental. But that yesterday, I'm looking at him thinking, listen, kid, when we by this time next year, I'm looking at you every start of the season saying, like we did with Derek Mountfield, I'm sorry, but there's 10 in you, and there's 10. So then, give me 5 of them. See, if you can do them incrementally like this, I need to see that more.
One of my favourite goals of probably, Leicester was incredible, right?
Yeah.
But my favourite goal of his, and it didn't mean a thing, was Southampton away. We got beat 4-1.
Technique. That was another one.
Off the bar.
That was another one. I was there then too.
It was and because we got belted in the second half, it means nothing. I was with you. But it was an. But when you're right, I mean, as he picked it up, as we broke, I'm right on the halfway line, and it went through him, and I'm thinking, someone make a run off him, but he stops the ball and he manipulates it back with the. So as he takes it back. Matic backs off. It was the worst thing he could have done. He backs off, he flicks it back, drops the shoulder, and he arrows it, and it's past the hair before
the bounce kills him. The bounce,
he's gone.
It bounces. But I've got to say, when you watch it again, as Garner comes through, he plays the ball. Sigurdsson could literally go forward, carry it, and keep running. He doesn't. He backs off and opens his body out. So now he can play Calvert-Lewin taking the run over there. He can play Bernard going there. And now they're stepping back from him because he don't know where I'm going. And that's what killed him. Because that gave him the space and bang.
Dominic Calvert-Lewin's face.
One of the best.
I'm sure he goes like that as if to go, what? You can just see him because it's ridiculous. It's just beyond ridiculous.
I mean, are we in general agreement then though? One of the best buys of the season has to be Bernard.
Yeah. I am.
He's not even a buy, is he?
He wasn't a buy, he was a free signing. Was the word term you should look for.
Well, the best buy is Luca Dean because he's just ridiculous. But the best, I mean, when we done Sky on deadline day, the fella said,
"Oh yeah, Hollywood."
Whoa,
just hold up.
Acquisition.
Yeah, but the fella said,
don't let us back days. That's the
problem. But the fella said, "Who's the one that excites you?" And I said, Bernard, because I've watched him for years, and I knew that if we can get him up to speed, if he could adapt. There wouldn't be any stopping. This is the fellow who hadn't played for 6 months, by the way, till he played.
My brother-in-law, the day he walked in the door, he sits with us, my brother-in-law John, and he looked at him the first day, he looked at me and said, Gianfranco Zola.
Yeah.
He can be Gianfranco Zola. He's a bit littler than Zola. But as I
Only
watched him through the thing,
5'5".
he rises like a salmon. I'm telling you now, next year, if he's talking about Pogba, I'm telling you, this time next year, Bernard in the derby rises like a salmon back post, not Calvert-Lewin, and buries it. Honest to God, if you are looking at that sort of talent as a footballer, and then I'll give you another thing, is work ethic.
That's it. That's
For
the
the
thing.
kid
What
like
I do.
that,
Yeah.
his work ethic, like a lion it is.
He's got
He
it.
tuggers,
Yeah.
he lets the full back run, he's clever,
Yeah.
he lets him go and doesn't go anywhere,
No,
doesn't
no.
sign chase and says, I'll fit in for you here,
Yeah.
and then you can come behind me. So,
That's why
for the free transfer, it's like peeing on baby. You don't want to say it too soon,
No.
but you're seeing signs. But, back to Bernard, to have that talent, plus the attitude, plus the free transfer in the first year of this programme will help us inordinately as we go forward, because that is the PS3 resistance. That's the sprinkle on the top. Normally, you had the worker bees and then you put the queen in the middle of it. Well, no, actually, we've already got talent here in the system before we go. So if you can add strength, power, pace, and a few goals in it, then you're starting getting cards. You might not be in the top 3, but you're in the top 5 or 6 though now.
Mate, you looked yesterday, after we went 2-0 up, we had that situation where the Gea threw it out to Ballot.
Yeah, and we won it back.
And it was, they were looking round at each other.
That's what I love
as
more
if
than
to go,
anything.
fucking hell, what's going on?
I like that as much as a good pass.
No,
I
but
love
that's
it.
what I'm saying. They were looking and going, what's going on? They're all over us.
Yeah,
Pogba, you seen, I watched Rom a few times. I watched them when Sigurdsson scored, and he was just stood on the halfway line. I was thinking, I've seen that lots of times for us. He was out, his head had gone, he was out the gate, he was looking, going, these are better than us. It's dead noisy. It's electric. We can't get near them. And him and Pogba, you would look at each other halfway through that first, after 2-0 down, we're all over, and they were looking as if to go, what the fuck's going on here?
Body language,
He just
wasn't it?
couldn't
Everywhere
get
you
into
could
the
see
game.
it.
Rashford had the cob on. Rashford started
Still
moaning at the
taking
line.
tomorrow, by the way.
I'd more
Still
long.
taking
And
tomorrow.
for me, if I was United man, he'd be through them.
But he was the only one who actually looked angry, because there was a ball that
And he
came
kept
from...
saying
There's a ball that came over from the other side, and he just flipped out on whoever played it. It was a dead simple ball, and if he got it, he was in.
That one where he flicked it over the keeper was as near they got to our goal to the last 5 minutes.
That was a one ball. It was a great ball by Pogba.
But he only had one thing to do with it, was the outside of his foot, and he still, that's a hard skill as a centre forward on the run with the fella behind you.
Well, he had no chance though, because what happened was Seamus recovered well, and Zuma went flying across it.
Couldn't get it back across.
Because my worry was when it bounced into the space. Bromfield off him was on his own, and I was thinking if he squares it, you know, there's an
What I thought we did really well is we never let them set up camp anywhere on the pitch.
At all.
Everything was like that. It was a long ball over the top. They had a few in the second half where we were all like 4-0 up or 3-0 up. But the first half, certainly, they never got a chance to camp because we were in there. Pressing,
that's been a thing, though, hasn't it? That's been a thing, like we said, about without Newcastle and Fulham. That's been consistent. The second half against Chelsea, from then, and you just said it before, actually, about how it's been from the off. So if you were to take the second half against Chelsea, West Ham, and then Arsenal, and as if they walked off one pitch onto the other, walked off one pitch onto the other. Well, yesterday was kind of a similar thing. It took us a little bit longer to get into the game, but once we did the second half, like you said then, 2-0, it can beat dog. It can hurt you as much as it can hurt the opposition.
I've seen us 2-0 up against Man United and lose 4-2.
Easy, many times, by the way. But I'm saying that it was back again.
I was saying to me,
again,
Zach was in front of me yesterday, and it was 3-0, and he went, we beat ours, and I went, so it isn't over, and he was going, Dad, and I went, mate, honestly, right, keep it to yourself, and he was going, no, but Dad will win, and I was like, no, mate, Ben Walcott knocked it in, I went, alright, now you can say it. But, I mean, that was it, but I mean, obviously we lost to Charleston in the first, well, got beaten, didn't he? Came out for the second half, they made changes, like you said, and like you said, he'd already showed that, and so when they bring, I mean, what McTominay gave them was a little bit of a runner from midfield. He didn't really influence it, but he brought chicken legs on at right back, and Bernard just sent him the shop after about 6. That dummy, the dummy though, he dummied them 10 yards away from it, and still beat the kid to the ball. It was outrageous.
He turned him round like
you knew that he just, that once he done that, his day was over. But I thought what we did really well second half was we picked that tempo back up, because like you just said, 2-0. with the attacking talent United have got with Rashford, Lukaku, Pogba, Martial.
Formidable, by the way.
They're a threat at any time, aren't they? If they get a goal.
They're class players.
But we just snuffed it out again. 5 minutes in the second half.
We were quicker on the ball than them. We were passing the ball quicker than them. Some of the football we played in the second half, really, especially for Walcott's goal,
Fabulous.
It was absolutely fabulous. Yeah. Well, I mean, Walcott's been getting a lot of stick recently. He got out of a lot of stick. But that goal he was pure class. Yeah. Absolutely pure class.
When I seen that, yes,
he just he placed that.
We'll go back to the Dean goal. But when I seen that,
that's what you use.
It made me scratch my head. For the 3 months when we didn't have a striker, why the hell didn't we just give him a go through the middle and just go tell you what, with Sigurdsson, go after that.
No, but I've also got to say, I've also got to say, just again on Bernard, those 2 goals, that last goal and Sigurdsson's goal, his part in them was basically one touch. He turns around, he gives it, then he turns around and gives it again. And the other time he gives it again.
Go and look at
he's like a little maestro, he's like a little thing, and he's going,
he's the conductor.
It's fantastic. It's the actual accuracy of his touch.
And the effectiveness of winning in the net.
Go and watch the third goal again of this. We get a corner for the third goal. But that starts in 10 yards inside our half. Right, and it's knocked up to the halfway line. Don't know whether Dom comes and chests it off or it breaks, and then Schneidlin and Bernard play the little round the corner, and we go bump, 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 and we get him in again, and Young makes a great tackle and goes out for the corner, and from the corner, I mean, the way Luca Dean, it's stepping backwards. By the way, it's behind us. I mean,
it was like the one against Burnley, wasn't it?
But he stepped back on this is on the volley. He volleys the ball, stepping backwards. I mean, it was a great, I think you said before, Sigurdsson's corners yesterday, loads of variation, and they were a threat, and that was another one. De Gea having to punch the ball, and as it drops out,
kick one off the line as well.
The French, have you heard the French commentary of it?
No.
Magnifique.
It's just.
It sounded like Sassy Distel then.
Well, I've always said that about myself. But the commentary just makes it just so much nicer. But when you watch it, it's funny because watching it from behind, and I can't remember what I was watching on. I think I might have been watching it on Sky. Sorry for watching it on Sky. I know you've got problems with that. It's not actually on my
problems with it.
Well, it's not actually on my Murdoch anymore.
It's just Sky. Anyway.
I know, but
just
I like to. Anyway. I'm professional. I like to rewatch the games.
Because we're not. I've watched Everton's extended 25 minutes.
Well,
come on.
So
anyway,
So someone actually says on the commentary, "Oh, that might be offside. There might have been players in front of the goalie, Everton players." Do me a favour. But when they go around to the other angle, you just watch out. There is a load of players there, and he still somehow manages to bend it round.
I love the fact it goes past Ron. That's what I loved it.
I never noticed that, by the way.
It's almost like a big space, and everyone's focused on all this over here, and he just puts it in the place where nobody's watching, but that's the only place.
We need to say, if we're going to talk about Luca, we absolutely need to say that for the kid, no matter what is, we talked about CVs before, right? Which is much paperwork. Once you get there, you see, you throw it over the thing and say, let's see what you've got. Right. He's coming from Barcelona, no less, by the way, to take Leighton Baines' shirt, lad. That, my man, is a pressure. Even with Leighton Baines at 35, we've been talking about the Pienaar Baines axis, the most penalty thing, the most free kick, most assists for a left back. This might be our best player in the last. I believe Timmy Cahill is the only player to ever play for Everton in the Premier League, in that he turned up against everybody. Second behind him is probably Leighton Baines. So that was a pressure. We are not yet through the initial season, and he hasn't just won Player of the Year. He's put it to bed. By Easter, he literally has put it to bed. So we need to, when we get to the point where we're giving him the garlands and the trophies at the end of it, we need to get on the fact that this kid's got a bit of everything. He can defend. He links well with the thing, good in the air. He's brave. He can set pieces. He can do for you. He can ping them in like that yesterday. So boys, we need to say again, and back to the building around things for next season. It's not even about now no more. He said it before. Now we're looking at 18 months, 2 years. Someone's got to be in charge here. So this is looking good. This is the time to pick it up and deal with it. Well, him and Bernard, we just covered them two in the last 10 minutes. You're looking at it thinking, Marcel, go and do it again, lad.
But it's funny because we sat here last week, some of the Fulham game, saying, looked like they don't want to play in Europe. But if we do get Europe, let's just say we do get it, then all the signs are that we can just pick it up, can't we? There's none of this. We have to get new players and put them in the team.
New players.
If we have to start in July, which is a joke if we have to, but if we do, then you go, well, at least the team know how to play. Yeah. They all know each other's game. It's all about fitness more than having to start all over, and you should be able to put a functional team out to beat teams.
Not just that, you think that it'll be additions, most of the team, whereas as opposed to last year, when we actually start in competitive football, wherever that might be, most of the team will be recognisable, maybe until September, October. The same with Gomez started coming in after that. But most of the team will be recognisable from this season because he's already got much of it in place. He's not looking to buy a forward line anymore. No. He's got most of the width. The defence is kind of coming together. He's going to supplement it. So we're kind of seeing the picture now. And also you said before about this incremental thing. Well, before Christmas and up to Millwall, it was flashes. We'd seen the Carson, we'd seen Bernard, we'd seen Gomez, we'd seen the defence not looking like they were in trouble until Liverpool, and then looking like they were always in trouble after Liverpool. So it wasn't the picture, it was just flashes of the picture. But now we're starting to see the picture. So if that was to occur, you would trust in Marcel Brands to not do what he did last year and bring 5 in the last 5 minutes and try and get them in a little bit earlier. Well, then that'd be
Brands has already come out and said, hasn't he? That, you know, most of they've already identified all of their targets, and you sort of got from that some of this business is already done. And maybe obviously in his thinking and their thinking has been this thing that we may well get.
We might have to do it in July.
And we might have to do it in July. So we need to get this done.
Silver said the other week, didn't he? Said I want them all in by pre-season today. Or the majority. If we're bringing 5 in, I don't know
really be effective.
4 of them need to be in a pre-season.
We'll have to do that anyway because there's a chance that 3 of those teams will be playing for Everton next season. There's a realistic chance that Garner Gay and Andre Gomez won't be playing for Everton. You know, okay, Andre Gomez, it's probably more favourable he will be playing for Everton,
but it might
not be. You've got to say that. Keartuma, I don't think he'll be at Everton next season. I just can't see Chelsea letting him go.
I can. If FFP, I absolutely do.
I could see him maybe coming back on loan.
Chelsea.
He is. But Chelsea have got this ban. That's only one.
But everyone else has been deferred till January. When it was Barcelona,
but they haven't been. No,
they haven't.
They haven't though, have they?
I know, but previously it's happened. Chelsea's first appearance, so it's unlikely that they're going to get slammed. And they might, if they're going to get them, they'll hit them in January.
Maybe
they very rarely put a player out on loan. That's specific. Bring them back and put them in the team.
That's not fair. It's not fair. It's not fair.
Everybody else, De Bruyne, Salah, Lukaku, all of them out and off your pop. So I'm saying, I actually don't think that's. Plus the impact he's had here. Plus, if you look at his social media after every game, he's metal for the crowd. He's metal for everything.
We're not saying you don't want him.
So I'm saying,
the way you're all.
So no doubt as well. I mean, I think that if you look at the way Chelsea have been playing recently, they might be thinking he's that.
He needs 2. I need 2.
There is that as well, you know.
And then there's the other one, Garner, who, for me, I think Garner's in the form of his
life. He absolutely is. Absolutely.
So pivotal to the way we play. And what I loved about his performance yesterday was just that he got the yellow card. And
didn't stop him.
He didn't stop him, and he's got a brain now, but he knows when to do the extra thing or when not to. Or he'll bring other people with him and go, well, if we crowd them out, then it can't be a foul, can it? And obviously it's sensible we took him off.
We've been talking about Lukaku before. He came up in the conversations, and the juxtaposition between them when the transfer talk came out, since the PSG talk, Garner Gay has literally taken it to a different level. He never came out. After the window stopped, he said, I'm made up to be playing for Everton. I would have liked to have played for PSG because they're the big boss side, but I'm made up to be playing for Everton. Not just that, he said that he looked after me, but his performances have gone like that. So then Lukaku goes away with Belgium. Tells him he's joining Accrington. If they come in with another, he doesn't care who he's joining. His ma told him to go to Accrington because the kid with the milk on the telly, the kids. Like that, this against him. So actually, Lukaku doesn't play for us anymore and is no longer our problem. He does, and now we're seeing this. So if Garnegay leaves in the summer, this was my original point, and the next year, it's the next player in the team who's Calvert-Lewin, for example, in 2 years' time. He's been shown the example by the previous fella. He shows respect, we all go forward, and then we all move on together. That's how you do it. Well, I need to say that Carnegie's attitude, as well as his football, but as specifically his attitude, as I know I saw it before.
I love those t-shirts.
Yeah,
if he goes,
and I've got a garage full of them.
if he goes in the summer,
not to the taxman.
If he goes in the summer, I'd just be like, listen, well done. You've battled. You have superb for us, and you've got your move fair play because he hasn't moaned, he hasn't bitched. He's done his job, and he's
I
been
would like to see
fantastic.
him go. Like,
No, I don't want
I hate to see him go now.
I don't want him
Absolutely hate to see him go.
But what you would have to trust is him. That brand has got the replacement lined up, and that's what you have to
Listen, if he's going, I'd rather the club knew right now, and they said, listen, there's going to be an offer there. Are you going to take it? The club will probably be like, yeah, we are, because it's in the summer, and the club will be, because Brands, we say this all the time. Brands does a job without emotion. They're like. So we're saying it like stocks and shares to him. They're not.
It's the best way.
I like him though.
Oh, I love him. And that's why I love him.
He's like Bill
because
Murray.
he's not
kind of a hero.
You know, he's not going to sit there and go, oh, please stay. He's like, you going, are you? Okay. Because at the end of the day, footballers will always leave your football club through age because they're not good enough or they're too good for you. So we'll be like, well, okay, well, we'll go and get the next one, and I'll speak to the manager. Who do you like? I like him. He looks good. He's similar to Ghana. Oh, he's only 21. You know, we get 10 years out of him. That's the way they look at it. As fans, we don't look at it like that. It pulls at the arse.
Emotional.
Of course it is. That's the difference, isn't it? But I just hope everyone knows where they are because that makes the job easier.
I think it would do with him, particularly that character. I think it's all everyone.
But obviously, Luca Dean scores an absolute worldie. It's 3-0. It's puts to bed, and then Theo Walcott, who's had a bit of stick and hasn't played well, and to be fair, he's deserved a bit of criticism because this is a lad that's done it in the Premier League for 14 years, so you expect more from him than what he's shown. But he came on yesterday, and okay, he still doesn't get back fast enough. He does it. He does it so you can't say you don't run back, but he doesn't bust the gut to get back like Bernard and to be honest, Seamus Coleman bollocked him twice for not running where he told him to. But going the other way, he's still a threat, and the fourth goal proved that lovely little link up, and then what a ball by Sigurdsson to put him through. And then as he races through, that was Walcott for Arsenal as far as I'm concerned. Normally against us.
But that's his weapon. If you're going to play Theo Walcott, I said it in the derby. I came in here after the derby and said to you two, he put Van Dijk was trying to man mark Calvert-Lewin in the middle so he could also keep an eye on Walcott flying down here. Calvert-Lewin peeled off, went to the opposite wing, but said to him, either come with me or don't. Our goalie's booting it, he's doing that, and Theo Walcott was on the pitch for his pace alone. That was the reason he was there. No, but I'm saying it was a tactic from the manager because if you don't play Walcott and utilise his pace, you're only getting 30% out of him. Well, that goal yesterday showed him why he brought him on. He was just there for that precise ball to burn off, so it was him and the goalkeeper, not him and 3 defenders around him. It'll generally be him and the goalkeeper. That increases your chances of scoring goals.
Look, he took it brilliantly, didn't
he? Absolutely fantastic. He placed it. You can see he didn't panic. He bombed on. And he knew where he wanted to put that ball.
I was thinking, square it to Dom, because Dom was on his own.
I was going to say, Dom went with him, and I was made up to see that as a centre forward. And when you look at it, Dom, you can tell Dom's devastated.
He's never passing it to him.
I was just thinking, put it to it, Dom, because Dom scores, but he's
slowed the inside, put it to the side.
It was looking like, it could be an easy slot in for Dom, but I think there's no way Walcott was going to square that. He was thinking, I knew where to put
my mother doesn't pass it.
Maybe that's where, maybe he's better off the left. Because it means that he can play that Henry finish, because it was an Henry finish, wasn't it? His first touch actually was terrible.
Yeah,
took the ball away from him. But maybe when he comes off the right, he can't open his body enough to finish. Maybe when he comes off the left, but no, I would have loved him, because I would have loved Dom to get one. Because Dom,
he deserves a goal right now.
For everyone we talk about, it doesn't work unless you've got a centre forward working that hard. And I know, we can sit here all day talking about how many chances he gets or this or that, but it doesn't work unless he...
It's been fantastic.
The throw for the first goal, he gets the flick on, that's 2 in a row now.
He's creating the space for that for people to
He went through winter. Tom, I was in the ground, believe me when I tell you, he went through winter with the hard yards as an Everton centre forward, with no disrespect to Cenk. Cenk's getting the dough for it, sitting on the bench. This kid's getting stick for it at Huddersfield and Millwall and places like this, when it was hard work playing Everton centre forward, that he was getting zero love for it, by the way, for all the graft. Well, now, in this short 3 months later, you can see it. People in the ground can see, people who never went away and saw them match of the day for 10 minutes are now seeing it. So Dominic indeed does need, he's not going to win Player of the Year. He might win Young Player of the Year, by the way, but he won't win Player of the Year because Luca's been that far ahead. But we do need to because if we're going to build, boys, we've waited 3, 4, 5 years to get right where we are right today. If we let this go, honest to God, we've been missing out.
Well, if we let this go,
someone else
if
needs
we let
to
it go now, then we're never going to do it. That's the way you look at it. Because we had Martinez the first season.
Nearly,
and we didn't do any. Well, we got wrong, but our hands were. We didn't have money to go, and he still wouldn't have had a clue how to defend it if you give him £5 billion. Cuban come in and just spunked everything up. Him and Walsh didn't have a clue. He took us back 5 years. He really did. And he had. I was thinking about this yesterday. I was thinking, Ron got him out the shit, Cuban. And the minute Ron wasn't there, he was exposed to the fraud that he is.
You the same thing.
He was the fraud that.
There was no system.
We said this 2 weeks ago, or last week, didn't we? We said the same thing last week. We said he come in and he was like, right, we're going to have this boss thing and we're going to press and it's going to be amazing. And he watched Lukaku for 3 weeks and went, nah, don't need to do any of that. And he just went,
bang it.
No, those 3 extra hours I was going to spend training. I'm going to play golf.
Port.
Or I'm going to LB Port. Because they've got a fantastic shopping centre called Cheshire Oaks. There is no other reason. No other reason.
There was another reason.
And they've got CGIs as well.
There was actually another reason.
Well, he's into canals.
He was another reason.
Leave that, off there.
Wait till the camera stops.
To be fair, after that picture from last week,
our legal department just said he leaked that last little bit. Or at least my legal department.
It's yours, actually. But so that
your legal departments, you've got to be very careful now.
I'm now his agent.
He is actually.
But
you can tell that. You should have a piece of card. An agent.
He is actually the agent now.
But now we're starting the building process is there because of Marcel Brands.
So then
the pieces are in place, aren't they? You look and we've got England's goalkeeper. We've got what a left back we've got. You know, if you did keep Zuma, right? If you did keep Kurt Zuma, you've got Kurt Zuma, Michael Keane, who's been fantastic all season.
Coming along lovely.
All season.
Coming along lovely.
And I said it, and the defender down and made up.
So did I.
Made up.
So did I.
And then Yerry Mina.
You defended him when he couldn't defend.
See where you get the
that was when he had a hole
see
in
where
his
you
foot
get on
and
match
no
today,
boots
though.
on.
That's why it is.
Yerry Mina, who
That's
I
why
still
it is.
think will be sound for us, I really do. He's had a season to write off, but it's an experience,
that's a
so
learn.
you look at it that way. Then you go into midfield, and if Gomez stays, what a footballer. If he doesn't, okay, we'll do something else. But you've got Bernard, Charles, Calvert-Lewin. So there's half a team sits there, settled. You know what I'm saying? We could still have Garner.
The problem is, though,
Gomez,
we need a
and you've
squad.
got 9.
We need a bench.
You're already talking about Europe.
No, we need a bench.
This is 3 months. I've just said it now. 3 months after we walked out of Millwall, we all thought the house was thing. Typical Evertonians. Couple of good results. 3 months later, Europe. So let's.
But it is actually a realistic possibility.
The problem will be the squad.
Yeah.
It is not the first 11. If you're looking to do what, in my opinion, that's year 2 to 3 going into 4, not 1 to 2.
Yeah, but
if it happens, well then, the actual thing will be filling the gaps.
Let me stop you, right? Are you looking then at Ellesmere Port's finest when he had us in Europe? Because what he did was nonsense. His pre-season was nonsense. The way he played the game was nonsense. Right? See this fella. The whistle will go against Spurs, regardless of the results. Right? He'll get a shower. He'll go home and he'll be planning for the next one. So by the time we come back to pre-season, if we had AstraZeneca farmers away from home and all that in this qualifying, he will have his team, his build-up all ready to go.
But you didn't let me finish. I said, what I was trying to make the point was, this season, we hit the wall in the middle. We started reasonably well. We hit the wall in the middle, we've come well. I'd rather, personal opinion, please don't go crazy on the comments. I'm just saying, I'd rather 4 go Europe, get a full season in the Premier, domestic cup runs 2 times, give it both. I'm not saying we'd get there, give it everything in both of them, and look to qualify in your own right for the competition next year, and let's give it a go.
But what we're saying is, if we do get there,
I know it. I'll be there. I'll go. But it'll be the
It's
squad, not the team.
It's not that I don't want to be in Europe as a team. You want to see your team in Europe, but I just think the Europa League's the ruiner of American.
Yes, it's a fraud of a competition. It's a fraud of a
I
competition.
don't think it is.
You don't think that someone coming in from a competition, they've just been knocked out.
No, I understand that.
That's not a fraud. It's a fraud.
But I look at Arsenal. I look at Arsenal and Chelsea this year.
They're going to be in the final,
and they're both in the semi-finals.
Yeah.
Get to the final, play each other very easily.
Premier League form, like.
But you look at their you look at their team, and what I mean is when you watch them, when you look at their team on a Thursday, when you look at their team on a Sunday when they play.
Yeah.
Their Thursday team, they put like, they'll put like a Giroud in and a couple of others, and they'll have 5 new players. And then on a Sunday, you look at the team and it's great. And that's and it's the same with Arsenal. I mean, and we've beaten both of them.
But they've underperformed, the 2 of them in the league.
But you look,
everyone else apart from the top 2 and Tottenham are kind of
I think Arsenal have over
Chelsea and Arsenal. I think we played them next week. We beat them both again.
That's what I'm saying. That's because there's no gap.
So I'm saying
there's no gap.
I'm saying that competition, they've done well this year.
Yeah.
But Sevilla have been winning it 4 out of 5 years anyway. So it just, I think.
Atletico won it last year though.
Do you believe, just a random question, do you honestly believe that now this team yesterday, plus the summer window, we've got any possibility whatsoever, with the Champions League coming in January after they've been knocked out of lifting that trophy? It's a genuine question.
Not right now, but I'm not.
So next year,
I'm not
answer it. No, that is a no.
Yeah.
No. So what I'm saying is,
I've just said yeah.
Oh, you think you can?
Well, we just beat the teams that'll play for the final to win it.
Yeah.
We've just beat them in the last 3 home games. So yeah.
Okay, my point. That's reasonable. But I'm saying I don't. I genuinely.
But I wouldn't think we could win the League Cup, Dave. I don't think we could win the League Cup.
I do.
Because I think it's easier to beat AstraZeneca than it is to beat Man City.
You won't be playing AstraZeneca in the semi-final.
You might be playing Man City here.
They might play the 7th team in the league.
They won the League Cup again this year.
We can do this outside. Go on.
My point actually wasn't about winning the Europa League or actually being in the Europa League. My point was Arsenal and Chelsea squads.
The changes.
And it's not that they have got drastically better players than us.
No.
It's because they have a squad of similar players. So they have 16, 17, 18 players. And that's what I was going to say. Chelsea can take a couple, 3-4 out on a Thursday, and you look at the players and you go, oh, they've took Higuain out and brought Giroud in. And they're like for like. They're not necessarily, exactly. And they're not exactly amazing players, but they're like for like. So what we need to do is go and buy a Gomez and another Gomez, and we need to have a Garner and another Garner. And instead of having, so yesterday, you've got Schneiderlin and you've got Tom Davies, and physically they're completely different. Different. And then the other one is James McCarthy, wasn't kicked the ball for a year. So that's what I'm saying. We need to get players who are of such a similar standard, so that if you've got a game on a Wednesday night and a game on a Saturday, you're going, we'll play him, and then we'll play him. And actually, there isn't a drop off between them, and that's the only thing we're missing. Because as soon as you look at our bench now, you go, Dominic Calvert-Lewin has to play every single game because there's not one player anywhere near his level, when you like it or not.
Yeah.
Yesterday we didn't even have a left back on the bench. Did we have a right back on? We didn't have a right back on the bench. No. You look and you've got Tosin is the striker. Walcott's okay. That's a good option because he can play left and right and through the middle.
And we had Lookman.
James McCarthy, Davis, Lookman. So we need that bench.
Needs to be better.
So Chelsea and Arsenal show that you've got a good standard, not an amazing standard. You can compete for the top 4 and you can compete for Europa League. I think that's the difference. That's where we need to be. But the problem is, and this is the problem we've always found, is it's hard keeping 18 players happy if you haven't got Europe. That was always Moyes' biggest problem. He never had a squad to compete, and when he did get squads, we weren't competing.
I know what you're saying, and it's probably right. We probably couldn't go in and win it, right? But you don't know. What I'm saying is, you don't know. And for us to go, we'll try that next summer. Well, next summer, Richarlison might get 23 goals, and next summer, Barcelona might come in. But if you're in Europe, you don't know. We take it. We'll all take it.
But I
don't know whether we will get it.
I'm gun shy because of the last 5-6 years.
No, I know.
I'm gun shy because we keep starting, changing our... If we'd have listened to Twitter 3 months ago, Michael Keane wouldn't be here no more, neither would the manager, neither would 4 or 5.
What you've got to remember about Twitter
but that's what our last 5 years has been. We've seen change. But
if you listen to...
I'm low. I haven't seen that.
If you listen to Twitter...
A modicum of progress, I want to maintain it and
nurture
it and then give it a go. That's all I'm saying.
But if you listen to the manager and Marcel Brands, they want Europe.
They
want Europe. They want... Because at the end of the day, like I was saying before, if you are in Europe and you have to play those games, which you shouldn't. You shouldn't.
Yeah, no.
We're in England, for what we've done in those years, for having 2 semi-finals Champions League and 2 semi-finals Europa League, finishing 7th should get you straight to this group stage. And that's not I'm not being all like big-headed, but that's the way it should be. If we turn up and we go, well, we've got half a team of first teamers and then Tom plays and Lookman plays and
Kieran Powell should be good
enough
to
Vlasic is back and Henry Onyekuru's back. That should be enough to get past a Farmers 11 and then a bit of a step up like it was when we played Split. That should be enough. And then
I want the league though. I don't care about the Europa League next year whether we're in it or not. I want to see progress in the league. Because if he loses his job, it'll be because of the league. It won't be because of the Europa League.
But what we're saying with that as well,
the
Europa League's almost a development process for players as well. And that's what you've got.
That's what Arsenal and Chelsea do in the group stages.
But if you're playing half your team in it, it's only developing half of them.
That's what I'm saying. No, imagine if you're in the Europa League and you're so confident of your good players that Tom Davies plays all those games and Lookman plays all those games.
I see both.
That's what I'm saying. You know what I mean?
Next season.
I'm looking at it from a point of view that we might be in it. I'm not sitting here going, I demand to be in it.
No,
but we might be in it. So
it's likely.
There's an opportunity. I still think. Well, I personally looking at Watford's fixes. They've got Wolves, and then that's it. They don't know one to play. So I think they.
We play Tottenham. With the greatest respect to me, mate, Mr. Chairman. That's not the hardest in the world.
We're Everton, Dave. We know. But we might because we might get another 7 points, and 7 points probably gives us it. So, but that's the opportunity we've got. But I know exactly what you're saying.
Going back to this game, though, I mean, once we got the 4th, I mean, by the way, the corner by Sigurdsson we mentioned before.
Class one.
It's good goal. It was nearly good goalkeeping because if he
I don't understand what he was doing though.
No,
he was trying to go Bernard.
He was trying to go back though to attach his
He was pushing Bernard and it comes short. He had to run out.
Doesn't that just show you that the action? Don't you go professional football?
No,
I do. When you look at professional football and you go, yeah, they can do that.
Like a goal shot.
But after that, for me, I was just like, let's keep a clean sheet now.
I wanted five.
And they had a couple of opportunities.
Martial should have done better.
He should have done better, yeah. Twice he put it to the side of the goal and should have hit the side.
But other than that, they had
no.
They were very good as well.
It wasn't about them.
They were great. What are you talking about?
It wasn't about them.
It was about how we control.
And it's also through changes as well. Dean gets injured. Hopefully it's nothing too. I know it was a stamp. Hopefully it's nothing too serious. And then you're putting your centre back at right back and your right back at left back. I'd have just put James McCarthy at left back and just get on with it, lads.
I'd have put Tom Davies at right back. At the left, swap Chambers, Davies at left, Zuma and Keane.
But it was almost like, I almost felt like that was a respecting to the guys.
4-0.
That's the other thing. Can we please be told whether these players are staying next season so we can see them off properly at Burnley? You know what I mean? Don't do a Liam
Osman. I was talking to
Timmy
Cahill the other week and saying that was wrong.
It was.
That was wrong the way they did you. That was just wrong. I'm sorry. And I don't care about the club. I'm talking about us here in the ground, home and away. That was wrong. And that's just.
Also, whether you like them or not, they didn't even play the last game.
Osman and Hibbert. Never told them.
I'm paying so much.
Not good.
So if Baines and Jags aren't staying, tell us the week of the game.
Need to know,
So we
can get all banners and all kinds.
No, and give them our respect and saying this is a long ass draft,
Yeah.
by the way, and you just put your time in.
Baines has been unbelievable.
Baines
and
is
could have gone,
superb.
even at United, he wanted, he probably
Well,
did want to
but
go.
United
And
wanted him at one point, didn't he?
absolutely. And he
More than
stayed.
one
He stayed.
Yeah.
He stayed, so, you know, whether he would have gone,
But
we
3
need
points.
to know. But what a
The
performance.
ground was absolutely bouncing.
Isn't that 4 clean sheets on the run?
It
a
is.
row against
It
the
is.
top 6 side?
It is.
Fans, yeah.
Fans are incredible.
Fans were incredible.
That
Makes a
side
difference.
works.
It does.
Makes
Yeah.
a difference, but we've said countless times.
But-
We've said yeah, and we've also said on other platforms who remain nameless whilst we're on social
More than
TV.
stitching that shit
Yeah,
together.
and,
Watch him now.
not me, lads,
Stitch.
him.
What?
No, we know.
Yeah,
Listen, we
Stitch,
know what
you
we
know,
know
He
what
hates
he's
it
like.
now. You hear what
He's
he just did?
literally like he's a
I'm
media
not
whore now.
frustrated.
No,
Isn't
he's
I'm
he?
not
not.
frustrated.
Use it on Sky.
But you're
I'm
here.
not
But I'm
today.
here.
You're here, Keith.
But,
You're here. You should be. He'll
yeah.
boost for anyone.
Loyal.
Use a
This
boat.
fella will
So,
sign it on
so.
anyone. He'll be on the Echo podcast next.
But we've said countless
That'd
times
be a new low.
That won't be true.
your role is to go there and support. And yes, we pay the money, and we feel like that we have a right to show how pissed off we are sometimes. But the team, you need to get behind the team. And we've said that countless times. That it's about getting behind the team.
But the last 4 games,
It's about
been
it's
easier.
about supporting.
the last 4
That's
games
what
have
we
been a
need to
pleasure.
do.
And it's funny you talk about social media before, you about Twitter and talking about the bubble. Well, a few months ago, people would have told you that waving a flag in the ground was cop-out behaviour, and actually singing songs was cop-out behaviour and all this nonsense. And now it's just like that's what
That's
we're
just
doing.
the way
now.
it is,
That's what. Although, can I just say, those flags, don't take them home. Leave them in the ground. They're
Why
not
did you
yours
take
to
them home?
keep, by the way. They've lost all half of their flags.
After you
People just picking them up and taking them home.
gobshites.
If you've took a flag, bring it back.
Bring
Bring
it back for
it
the
back,
Burnley game.
because it's not for you. It's not a free gift.
I know, but
You didn't get
Scousers.
Collect it
like
with your
that.
Kellogg's.
Yeah, see.
Bring it
Kids-
back for the next
the
game.
kids is gonna
They're
say,
they're
I
those-
want to take the flag home. You're going to say, my conscience, Everton, I need to keep it in the ground, or do sort the 4-year-old out at my feet. Tell you what, take the flag, let's go home.
Bring it
That's
back
how
for
it
Bring
is.
it back. for
Buy
Burnley
some more flags,
and leave
please.
it there, because
Thank
those
you.
lads have worked hard for that, and the club obviously
I think-
have invested in them.
I think
So-
the thing about it was, to wrap up, as you're in that ground and that ground's bouncing and you're getting involved and everyone's clapping and
Yeah.
my hands were thinking
I said that yesterday.
My hands,
Don't say that. Your
my
hands
hands
sore.
were sore yesterday. They were
Yeah,
like a maroon
Don't say
colour.
that, brother.
And you feel engaged in the game, you feel
Yeah.
invested, and it was like, this
Feel
is
like
what
you've
it was
got a part
like.
to play.
This is what it used to be like.
Yeah.
And we've had 5-6 years of sterile, of scared to invest in it. But because we're investing in it, the team have responded. James Coleman's done a thing.
And do you know
today
what
going,
happens?
the atmosphere, the energy just drives you on.
And do you know what happens as well when we sing? The atmosphere is you get all the old songs coming out,
Yeah.
and then you get all the new songs,
Yeah.
and then people are trying to think of new songs, and they're like, "Well, we need a song for him." And then a player gets a new song. So I heard Luca Dean this week going, he was like shocked that he had his own song, and then that emotional
the bond,
attachment becomes, and then you're singing songs, and there's the next. I'm sure at some point we'll get one for the manager.
There's gotta be
And
one
you
for
get
the manager.
that. You get
I
that
think-
relationship.
I think-
That's also why certain players get that relationship with the club and want to stay.
Yeah,
as
that's
well.
exactly.
You know
But
what I mean?
also,
if
you're
you
giving
give
the walls
if you
from
give
the
some
door.
players shit all the time and whinging all the
Yeah,
time,
yeah,
they're
yeah.
going to be like that.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck
I'm
off.
gone.
But it
Jeez,
also
toxic.
speaks to what you said before about the starting well.
Yeah.
What you're doing is you're imbibing them with a confidence, an innate confidence, and the opposition are on the back foot. And the last 5 games at home have been the best what's in this league. Or without Tottenham, this is the best what's in this
City,
league.
yeah.
And the effect has been tangible,
Yeah.
visible, visceral. You can feel it
Yeah,
in your body.
yeah.
So that argument about all that's gone now because
gone,
it's
yeah.
carried over.
Well,
if you look at the players' social medias,
Yeah.
through that
Look
time,
at Jordan,
every one of
Just
them,
look at last night.
every
Luca
one of
Dean,
them
Calvert-Lewin,
I mentioned this
Everybody.
last week about Fulham and said
Gomez.
one of the problems was the ground was so sterile.
Yeah, it's
It
full
was
of-
dead quiet.
Yeah.
It was full of these why? I don't.
It's-
Fulham fans are like that.
It's
Taking
not,
selfies.
I was outside. It was like the League of Nations. Ryan Babel had about 2 coaches there. There was French people and Spanish people. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's an international game, but you're not going to get the parochial thing.
That's what I'm saying. It's like it was like for a lot of people, it was like a day out. And our fans looked like they were having a great day out on the Thames.
Yeah.
And the atmosphere in the ground was dead quiet, and it almost affected our players. It's almost like
it looked like a pre-season.
The tempo was dead slow. Whereas when the crowd's going at Goodison, that helps with the tempo of the team. It's all plays its part.
The biggest challenge now is, can we be creative for Burnley? We've
had
five at home. City, Liverpool, Arsenal, Chelsea, United. It's Burnley now. Can we do it for Burnley?
Why not? Last game at home.
If we can.
And what you also have to mention is, like, Man United were 4-0 down. They've been spanked, basically. The fans stood there right to the end. That was sung right to the end.
That was a message. That was a message. That's the manager, but the players are dickheads.
I know, yeah, but that's
what it is, isn't it? That's what they're saying. I watched some of their social media yesterday. I watched some of their videos yesterday, and they were saying anything. They were very complimentary about us. Thought we were excellent house and full-time Devils. They all very thought we were almost looking in awe at us and going, I thought we were better. Not like saying we are better, but saying, aren't we supposed to have that attitude like they had? And they were saying the ground was great. You know, a lot of them are like, they love coming to Goodison Park because they love.
I've seen loads of away fans lately going, I'm going to miss this.
Why? That's because of the atmosphere, because you get in there. And
City fans
reverberates.
That's it.
The old lady.
What a win.
The old lady.
4-0 against United.
Peace, Sobbies. See what I'm doing?
Come on.
Peace, Sobbies.
Let's do it again. There you go.
There you go. Big thanks to Keith and Dave for coming in on such a lovely bank holiday. Go out now and enjoy themselves. We're done now. We're all finished. Thanks for watching. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Make sure to check out. Don't check out anything else Dave's in, by the way. Apart from Harry. If anyone wants an interview with Hollywood Dave here, you've got to come through me just to have me.
No money. What's that
Go
about?
through the agents.
See me.
Hollywood
I'm
Dave.
all heart, mate.
That's
what I'm doing here today.
We are hard.
I didn't earn any. Anyway,
One team.
If you're getting us a letter, anyway,
don't worry, boys. I'm having a word with you.
Yes.
Well done.
Because you know what? You make yourself more exclusive, then you can put your fees up.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
My fee's massive for this.
If you're throwing yourself around pubs in town, do you know what I mean?
Two cups of coffee next time, then.
Yeah.
Oh my God, no.
We'll have some juice for you next time. There you go. Big thanks for watching.
Peace out.
We'll see you later.